So what we do today is just going to be an introduction of what will happen tomorrow. Okay. If you do not understand how to do this, even after I show you how to do the calculator portion of it, you're going to be completely lost the rest of the unit. So make sure you pay attention. So I told you guys to read that that front page, the first part. It says the idea is to find two numbers that will multiply together to create the top number that you're given. But at the same time, those two are added to create the bottom number. So that first example is that we have 10 and 7. Okay. The top number is the product. What does product mean? That you have to do what with numbers? You have to multiply to get those numbers. But whatever two numbers that you pick at the same time, you have to add them to get the bottom one. Now, the only way to be able to do this is, or the easiest way to do this is to find the product, find the factors of 10. Now, you guys have already learned how to find factors in your calculator if you don't know your times tables, which this is only a 10. So I'm really, really hoping that we know the factors of 10. What's one of them? 1 times 10 and 2 times 5. Okay, so these are our two choices. We could either put 1 and 10 or 2 and 5. Now think about this. 1 plus 10 gives you what? 2 plus 5 gives you. So what are my answers? 2 and 5. 5 and 2, 2 and 5. It doesn't matter if you flip them to where it says 5 and 2 instead of 2 and 5. But that is how this is going to work. Now, obviously, once you get negatives and stuff in the mix, it gets confusing. So I will show you a calculator trick to help you find that number every single time. Okay. So we know that the top number is the product. It is the multiple. It's the factor. Okay. Now, how do you find the factors of 9 using just the calculator? If you don't know your multiples of 9, how would you do that? You go to y equals and you put this into. All right, let's say I go to y equals. Let me reset my calculator because I am doing the video on this. Let's say I go to y equals, what do I put and where do I put it? It's always the one that you're trying to find the factors of divided by x. So in y1, everybody see that little 1 right here next to the y? So in y1, you're going to put the number, which in this case, it's 9 divided by x. Now, it could be 9 divided by x. It could be 4. It could be negative 30, negative 84, whatever number divided by x. Okay. Now in y2, I'm going to write that above where it says practice because that one is never going to change. It doesn't matter what number you're looking for. Y2 will always, always, always be x plus y1. Now, you cannot type y1 just using alpha and finding the y key. How do you find Lord, never mind. I just told y'all. To find y1, you have to press alpha, not alpha, alpha, trace, enter. And it'll put y1 into your calculator. Okay, so let's try that for now. Let's type it in. Let's just type that in. So in y1, in the very first line, I'm going to do 9 divided by x. In y2, I'm going to press x plus. Now, anytime you change that 9 to something else, you don't have to retype this part in. X plus alpha trace enter. Alpha, which is the green button, trace is next to graph, enter. And there's my y1, x plus y1. That is what y2 will always say. Everybody there? All right, now, where do I go? Where did we go after finding or to find our factors? Second graph. So I'm actually going to draw an arrow this way because people are forgetting to press second graph for some strange reason. Second graph to go to the table. Now, your table is going to be more filled in than it was yesterday. When we did what we were working on. So second graph, now you have an additional column. What is the title of that additional column at the end? Y2, everybody sees that Y2 at the top? That is where you're going to find this bottom number. For example 2, you would look for the 4. But for this example, we're going to be looking for a -6. That's what it says. It has a little arrow pointing to it, and it says look for in Y2 on the table. This is the number you're going to look for in Y2 on the table. Let me move this back over. So here's my Y2. If I scroll over, that's not going to work. If I scroll over, I won't be able to go up or down. It won't let me go up or down. You can only use the first column to go up and down. Everybody see that? Okay. Now, everybody see this +6 right here at the end? That is not what we're looking for. It's important that if this one is a -6, we look for a -6 in this last row. And I'm going to be calling on random people to tell me what answers you find. So you better be ready. And I'm pretty sure you guys know who it, I'm pretty sure if you will know if I'm probably going to pick on you. So here's my -6. What two numbers are next to it? -3 and -3. So those are the two numbers. Those are my answers. -3 times -3 gives me 9. -3 plus -3 gives me -6. That's the way to find the answer for your diamond every single time. Now, the next one should, quote unquote, should be easy. What two numbers can I multiply to give me 4, but they add up to also get 4? 2 and 2. 2 times 2, 4. 2 plus 2, 4. Now, if you can't do that one in your head, once again, you could use a calculator, but I'm really hoping one like this, you should be able to. All right, now, Anthony, how about you do this one? I know you should have been following the steps like I asked you to. Okay, so what is the steps? Talk me through the steps. What do I do? Where do we go first? You're gonna do this with me as well. Where do I go first? Okay, let's go to the y equals. Y equals is upper left-hand corner right here. All right, I already got stuff typed in. What do I need to change? We're doing number 3. What do I need to change? What number? Change what with what? We're going to change that 9 to a -30. So it should say -30 divided by x. And the reason I'm using my calculator for this one is because of the negatives. And let's face the facts. You guys don't know your times tables and you guys cannot add negatives in your head. So after I change that 9 to a -30, where do I go from there? Alpha trace center is to put that y1 in there and it's already there. Let's say it's not there. Let's say I'm starting from scratch. I got -30 divided by x. Okay, now what do I put in the bottom? X what? Now how do I put the y1 in? How do I put the y1 in? Alpha trace center. Now where do I go? We wrote it in. We drew an arrow. Group. Is that what you wrote? Graph. Okay, so second graph. You hush up front. Second graph. You are nobody to talk. Okay? Now, what number am I looking for in here? And where am I looking for it? We wrote some arrows. We wrote some notes. Come on, let's look at them. Which one am I looking for? Okay, I'm looking in Y2. Which number am I going to look for? Am I looking for the -30 or am I looking for the -13? Look at your notes. for the negative 13. Now, look at my screen. Do you see a negative 13 in Y2? What two numbers are beside that negative 13? 2 and what? Negative 15. Everybody see that negative 13 here? 2, negative 15. You guys are going to make this definitely a lot harder than it should be. Ready? All right, Joshua, big talk, big man, big talk. Come on. What are my answers for number 4? What are my answers for number 4? Okay, go ahead. We'll wait. Which one? No decimals. You should not get a decimal. Let's do this. Okay, so in Y equals, what should I have there? Not negative 30, negative what? 84, right? Now, do they have X plus Y1 and Y2? Check the other screen, check the Y equals screen. All right, now, where are we looking for the number 5? We're looking for the 5 in Y2. We're not looking for the 5. A lot of people try to get confused, or a lot of people decide that they want to look for it here. Angel, look up. A lot of people go straight here. No, that's why we wrote it in the notes. You look for it in Y2. We're looking for the 5. We wrote it in the notes. Here's my positive 5. So the numbers are negative 7 and 12. Negative 7 times 12 is negative 84. Negative 7 plus 12 is 5. Okay. Now, somebody else pointed this out, and this can happen. I have a positive 5 here, but if I keep going, I will eventually end up with another positive 5 somewhere else. Hold up. Let me go this way. 40, 83. There it is. It could be 12, negative 7. If it's flip-flop, that's still okay. You're still multiplying and adding the same numbers, okay? And that will happen every time. All right. Now, Joshua, since we just did another one, I want you to do number 5. Help me out. Anybody else got it? I got it. What is it? Ooh. Thank you. Negative 8 times 3 is negative 24. Negative 8 plus 3 is negative 5. Double check yourself. You can also do that. Double check yourself. Yesenia, did you get number 6 already? What'd you get? Yep. Negative 2 and negative 3. Negative 2 times negative 3 is positive 6. Negative 2 plus negative 3 is negative 5. Okay. Eduardo, you want to help me out with number 7? Yep. Negative 15 times 1 is negative 15. Negative 15 plus 1 is negative 14. Joshua, go ahead and jump to number 9. I'm going to wait for you to do 1. Alex, go ahead and give me number 8. Okay. Correct. Negative 15 times 5 is negative 75. Negative 15 plus 5 is negative 10. Good. All right. You got number 9 yet? All right. Talk me through it. What do I do? Joshua. What do I do? Go where? How do I do number 9? What do I do? Okay, what do I do in y equals? What do I need to change? What needs to stay the same? Okay, now what number am I looking for in the table? Where do I find it? Is that my 7 right there? Okay, so what 2 numbers are beside the 7? 4 and 3. Notice you have 3 and 4 gives you a positive 7, but 4 and 3 also gives you a positive 7. All right, I'm done showing y'all the calculator. You guys need to figure that one out. Number 10, let's say I actually give you the answers to the diamond. Let's say you start off with the answers. This should actually be easier if you think about it, because you take those 2 numbers and do what to create this one? You multiply them. So what is 8 times -6? And then you take those same 2 numbers and do what to create the bottom? Add them. So what is 8 plus -6? +2. All right, 3 times 2 gives us 3 plus 2 gives us 5. 8 times -3 gives us 8 plus -3, also +5. All right, number 13. Now this is probably the hardest, as hard as this is going to get, today's thing is going to get, and it really isn't too difficult. If you could do it in your head, awesome. If not, we're still going to go over how to do it, okay? Now, I know that I have to take this -6 and multiply it by something else to give me a positive 36. What is it? -6. Awesome. But let's say I don't know that 6 times 6 is 36. Let's say I don't know my multiplication facts. How else can I solve that? If I multiply this to 6 times 6 to get the 36, how do I work backwards? You divide. You divide. Am I going to type it as -6 divided by 36? Other way around. You take the 36, divide the -6. 36 divided the -6, and it'll give you the other one. Now that I have both answers, what do I do with the 2 -6? Add them, and I get -12. Okay. -6 times something is going to give me 12. -2. Once again, if I didn't know how to do that, if I don't know my times tables in my head, I divide. 12 divided by -6 in that order. That's why I'm drawing these arrows, because when you type it in the calculator, it's 12 divided by -6 in that order. And what is -2 plus -6? -8. For 15, this time it's giving you the sum and one of the numbers. If it's the sum, what am I saying? 4 plus something gives me 7. And if I don't know that 4 plus 3, if I can't do that in my head, what do? Subtract. Do I subtract 4 minus 7? 7 minus 4 in that order. You take the answer, subtract one of the numbers. 7 minus 4. Now 3 times 4 is 12. Ready? Same thing. If I don't know that 4 plus what? 4 is 8. I can take 8 and subtract the 4 in that order. 8 minus 4. 8 minus 4. And now 4 times 4 is? All right. Still somewhat simple. X times x is x squared, but x plus x is 2x. We went over the difference there. Now the hardest one, as hard as it's going to get today, what do you see here? How many terms does each one of these sides have? And that makes it a what? What's the proper term for it? Nope. An equation has an equal sign. If it has 2 terms, think about 2 wheels. What? Binomial, binomial, awesome, binomial. Now, what does product mean? To multiply. When did we multiply, or when have we multiplied binomials? It was in the title and it was in your notes. We have multiplied binomials two different ways. How did we multiply binomials? What did we use? We learned two different ways to do that. There you go. Box or foil, correct. Box or foil. Look at your FOIL method foldable. What does it say? Multiplying what? Binomials, FOIL method. The other one also says multiplying binomials, box method. So yes, we will be using, I'm gonna use box method just because it takes up less space, I think. So here we go. I'm gonna use box method. All right, what are my binomials? 3x minus 2. And then x plus 4. All right. 3x times x is what? 3x squared. Are you gonna go? No, no, I mean, it's time if you want to go. It's time for if you want to go. And then x times negative 2. And then 3x times 4. And 4 times negative 2. Which ones always combine? Diagonal 2, right? When we combine, what are we saying we're doing? Adding, okay? So what's 12 plus negative 2 or negative 2 plus 12? All right, so let's put our answer together here. Let me F11 real quick. All right, so 3x squared plus 10x minus 8. That is what you get when you multiply these two binomials. Now, to get the sum of them means to what? To add. What term do we use for adding? Starts with the C. Combine, combine. And when we combine, we always combine what? Like terms. When we combine like terms, meaning you can only add the ones that look alike, right? So what can I add? Oops. What can I add to 3x? And x is technically what? 1x. So 3x plus 1x gives me 4x. What can I combine with negative 2? Positive 4. And what is negative 2 plus 4? Positive 2. So when we combine this, it gives us 4x plus 2. But if we multiply it, it gives us 3x squared plus 10x minus 8. Okay? All right, go ahead and glue this into 98. 98. And I'll come around with your assignment.